Hello, everyone. This is Carolyn McGee here with Pat Rainville for our monthly show on Angelic Guidance for Daily Living with the Angels. Okay, we are recording this on the day after the Super Bowl, so both of us are a little bit tired and a little bit sad,
Yes.
which kind of brings us into the topic that we want to talk about of dealing with change. But before we dive into that, I'd like everybody to just close your eyes if you're able, or if you're not able to, at least take a deep breath.
Yeah.
You know, breathe in through your nose and then out through your mouth. Feeling that energy settle back into your body. You know, feeling that divine guidance, that support that's always, always, always around us. Whether you're feeling energized or a little bit low, you know that you're not alone and that you can draw on that energy for support. So let's take one more breath and get ourselves centered. There we go. So again, my name is Carolyn McGee. I am an angelic life coach and an intuitive healer. I am here to support you with how you can incorporate that energy that's available to us 24/7 into your daily life to feel more empowered and more connected. Pat?
Yeah, I'm Pat Rainville. I'm a angel therapy practitioner, a life coach, and a Reiki master like you as well.
Yes.
I do. I provide, readings and healing, meditations and things like that for people. And it's interesting to come into this with, dealing with life changes, because I know loss is an issue, whether it's
Absolutely.
the loss of a
Football
game or the loss of a dear, like a loved one in your life, or the loss of, a job, or just something that, that has brought a change in for you that you weren't necessarily expecting. Maybe it was forced upon you. Maybe it's just life, maybe you're going through divorce and it's the loss of a marriage or a bond with somebody.
Or it's the loss of a concept. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes those losses are, we know at some level that they're really in our highest good, but it's the loss of the ideal.
Yeah, that's a good point, because you see your life as like hoping it, and actually this is really interesting because as we age and you go into your 50s, or even could even start in 40s, 50s and beyond, maybe you have this idea that you should be at a certain place in your life, have had a certain level of success or a legacy or something at this point, and if you don't, it's that ideal of like, oh wow,
So it could be the loss of a dream.
Yeah.
But that opens up for other possibilities. And there's difficulties sometimes in change or adapting to change, even with positive things. You get a new job, you move into a new home, you start a new relationship. That's a change. It's a shift from the way you were being in the way you were before and moving into a new way of being. And that's a big adjustment. A lot of times I don't think we give ourselves credit or understand the magnitude of the energy. For example, I sold my home last year, and selling a home is a huge change.
That
It was
is a
a
huge
loss
change.
Of where I raised my children. I didn't have to, but I chose to move to a different town so I could bring my animals with me, which is a foundational piece of my energy and
Yes.
how I connect.
Very much so.
Very much so. But it was the gain of living in a community. It was the gain of actually having access to a swimming pool during the summer. There was a lot of gains to it, but it was a change, a different way of living. And I didn't realize the impact it was going to have on me. The energetic shift, the adjustment of being in a new environment. As positive as it was and as exciting as it was a big change for me. And it took my energy quite a while, a lot longer than I had planned for doing that.
Yeah, those kinds of life changes they're huge,
They really are.
and it takes a while to adjust to them. And I mean, I know like if you've lost, a parent or something like that, I mean, they may have lived a good, long, healthy life. They may have left a wonderful legacy behind, but it's still tough to cope with that change. Even though you can be happy maybe that they're not in pain anymore, that they've moved on to their life and spirit.
You may even be still sensing them around you, but it's a different type of engagement. It's a different way to connect.
Exactly. And that type of change, too, takes a long time.
Really long time.
To adjust to. And so, I mean, working with the angels in and through that, I know there's sort of several different ones that come to my mind. One would be Azrael for the help with any kind of loss, feelings of loss, and the comfort.
Transition.
And transition, yeah. Excuse me. But who do you go to help you embrace the new?
The new? Well, I look at it more as opening to possibilities. So I work a lot with Archangel Raphael. He resonates with green. I've got green on today.
I know you got his colors on
I got
today.
his colors on today. And that was actually at a subconscious level. And that's where I connect with the angels, is more of a subconscious level. I open up to the possibilities. I allow them into my energetic field to feel them and allow them to guide me with no boundaries. Well, minimal boundaries. There's still times I argue. But
Yeah.
I always lose, by the way. But so I open myself up. So today, intuitively, following that angelic guidance, this is what I reached for. The dress has got green on it. I'm wearing green. My power healing stone is with me, which is adventurine, which is green. So I'm supported in this, in opening up and receiving the right information to be able to share with you, so that you can go ahead and feel good during the change, the transition, see the possibilities, find the gifts. That is how I deal with the change and the difference. If I look knowing or open to knowing that there's a gift in it somewhere. I may not find the gift right away, but at some point in time, there will be an awareness of a present, a silver lining.
That's a good point. And Raphael's a really good archangel to work with because he's so healing on so many levels. The physical level, and the mental, emotional level, your heart, where it needs to heal. And a lot of his healing, I find, comes through laughter. He helps to remind us of or help us to remember being lighthearted if we're going through a lot of significant change and it's really feels heavy to us. So, he might end up guiding us when we call him for his intervention. I find he guides me to something that's very lighthearted. You watch a funny show, or, you come across a person that that he's just very lighthearted and they make you laugh. It's really, it's nice that way. And it helps you to step out of what can feel like the struggle of adapting to the changes that are going on for
absolutely.
you. But it's so interesting because I had a very similar experience. I do the weekly reading on YouTube, and I know you do too. I had, in order to get dressed up and be in front of the camera, I had gone on and I put on a pink sweater and I had a pink scarf, and I pulled my Archangel card, and who popped out was Archangel Ariel, who has that light pink
Joyful,
color.
beautiful.
Yeah, very light. And it was just so funny. I'm like, I didn't, and I
You're
didn't get the
connecting
card.
ahead of time.
Yeah, until after I had made that change. I'm like, oh, I'll wear,
Yeah.
So it was very interesting the way you're connected with it before you even think about it.
Right.
They're with you.
And that's opening up your energetic system so that you can connect and follow that lead. So that you're building that relationship with the angels and that angelic guidance at a much deeper level.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know that, I think it depends on the situation for me that I'm dealing with. I mean, if I feel sad because I've lost something, then I call on the Archangel Azrael, but also Raphael. This morning I was calling on Raphael, actually, because I've had some some pain going on in my joints. And so I've been asking him for, whatever it's going to take to help heal that.
Pull the emotion out.
You know, when you speak of openness, it's kind of like, I try to be open. It's like, okay, well, whatever way that needs to happen, if you want to instantaneously heal it, great. But if I need to go through someone, please guide me to the right person so it can heal. And I know sometimes I've called on Jeremiel too, the Archangel Jeremiel, for transitions, because he helps people with that, especially when you feel like you're all over the place. And you just need, there's a lot of change going on, and for a while it feels like you're just, you know, you're unbalanced or unfocused because you haven't adjusted to the new changes yet, and you're letting go of the old ones. And so he's another one that I tend
That's
to go
usually when I call on Metatron, because his energy for me
Yeah.
is very grounding. Usually when my body's energetic response, when I get into that, not feeling like I'm centered, I'm outside of my body. So because of the way I interact with Metatron's energy, it's grounding for me. I find myself pulling back into my body, being able to connect with my own self better.
Okay.
And then be able to reach out and connect and feel, the next right step, which he's been fabulous with helping support me. Okay, you know what? You've got 12 things that have to be done. And I know you're a little overwhelmed for whatever's the loss or the change is going on with me. Do this first. Check in with me when you're done.
Yeah, he's really good for prioritizing.
Really good
you know,
for prioritizing.
Yeah, so you can just kind of get focused on, all right, what's the next step? What's the first thing I need to do? What's the priority more than anything
Right.
else?
And when I'm in transition, or when I'm, experiencing a change or adjusting to a change, I lose my natural ability to prioritize and to figure out what's next. So by giving that over and opening up, it clears it for me, because I just focus on one thing. And then I know that I can go back and do the next thing, and pretty soon it's all taken care of easily.
Yeah, that's what I love about calling on the angels. Whatever angel you end up calling upon,
Exactly.
is that sometimes you go into something like, I have no idea how all this is going to get done. And then you call on them and you ask for their intervention, and sometimes for me it's verbal, but other times I sit there and I kind of write it out, like almost like bullet points. Okay, angels, please help and intervene. This is what I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
I need help with this to resolve this, or I need help with that to resolve that, and I don't know where to go. And then, the next thing you know, you just kind of, like you said, you just kind of stay open. I don't know how it's going to come, but you just kind of go on about your day, and slowly, one by one, the things get resolved.
It's like a miracle, isn't
Yeah.
it? I love that.
I know. I like that too. It's really cool. It's such an interesting process, the way, and it comes about in ways that I couldn't have thought of.
You cannot even imagine the blessings that come in when you
Yeah.
reach outside
Yeah.
for the possibilities. And that's really what it is. It's
Yeah.
Because, the human mind and even the human heart being open, we're bounded by what we can create and what we can imagine. So,
Yeah.
that's why, as you've mentioned before, not focusing on the how.
Yeah,
You know.
that's a big one.
Yeah, to
Because-
allow things to come in, because we can't imagine the possibilities.
Yeah, a lot of times I find when I come across people who are just having a really difficult, stressful time, is they're really too much in their head. Trying to figure it all out.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going through a lot of change, because worry keeps it all up in your head, and so when they come to a meditation or they come for a session, it's like you're helping to calm that. With the angelic help, you're helping to calm those energies
Yep.
down. And I find such a huge piece of the dealing with change too is self-care. You have to take that time out to get out of your head, get into your heart. And I know the angels oftentimes will guide me to get outdoors.
That is huge.
Yeah, get outdoors, get out in the fresh air, get out,
Yeah.
even at times when it's been really cold and you're saying, oh, but
Like,
it's cold.
are you serious?
Yeah, even 5 minutes. But lately with the reprieve of nice weather that we've had
Yes.
today, and yes, over the weekend, they were like, get outdoors, get out, take a walk, get out, to get your blood moving, to get some fresh air, to appreciate the beauty of nature, because those are all things that are important to our mental and emotional well-being.
Yeah, absolutely. And, as I've mentioned before, the animals are so foundational for me and my energy, and they can be for a lot of other people too. I know you've got cats, so, for me, sitting and just resting or allowing, them in when I'm doing my meditation,
Yeah.
so that there's that physical present energy that the animals naturally have.
Yeah.
And that helps me connect with my own personal energy. And then as I'm in more in my body and feeling my own energy, then I can tap in and connect with the angels deeper.
Yeah.
It's like logically sometimes it doesn't seem to make sense, but it's been proven so many times for me that, being very present and being in my own body allows me to connect deeper to the divine. So it's a beautiful thing.
It is. It's so interesting because I was having a session with someone the other day, and she had gotten a dog. And in a previous session with her, before she had gotten the dog, I told her, I saw that there was a new dog coming in. And, I intuitively sensed that this dog was a rehab dog. Not in the formal sense, because you know how there's dogs that are formally rehabilitation dogs.
Yes.
They're seeing eye dogs, they're what have you. I said, no, I really sensed this dog was a rehabilitation dog for her. He came in to help her heal her heart from a deep hurt that she had, kind of a very strong betrayal that she had been through. And precisely because, and I think Raphael does this for us too. As part of our healing process, you end up with an animal because the animal shifts you out of, whatever it is, your head and your worry and your low feelings, and it opens your heart to focus on the care of another being.
And that unconditional love and acceptance that they provide for you.
And that's, it's a huge part of the healing process.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's, I love those kinds of.
And that's one of the reasons too that oftentimes when I'm doing animal communication, especially if it's the transition of a pet, and the owner and the pet have had a really deep connection, many times they'll be closing their heart. They'll say, I'll never have another dog, or I'll never have another cat. They can't accept the love. And that transitioned animal always comes back and says, go find somebody else to love.
Yes.
Keep your heart open.
Yeah.
Don't shut down. Don't allow the energy to stop. There's so many other animals out there. Then yes, your relationship will never be the same, but it's going to be beautiful, and it energizes people.
Yeah.
And the other animals, then they'll come in and they'll support. They'll make the perfect arrangement for the next right animal to come in and to support the person in that next phase of their journey. It's just so beautiful.
It is. It's so true. I found that too. If there's been a brief time where I've been without cats, there's eventually more cats that find their way to me.
Find their way.
And I find that they've come from the other cats that have passed on.
Absolutely.
It's so funny.
Yeah, it's divine intervention from, the animal world as well as the angelic world. I like to say they're all conspiring on our behalf.
Yes, that's a good way of looking at it.
Love that.
They're all conspiring on our behalff.
That's right, that's right.
So maybe we should pick some cards before we get into our meditation today.
Sure.
What do you think?
Yeah, I just
I'm gonna
was
see
guided to bring one deck, so I guess.
I don't know why I took all three. I went to Raphael. Maybe I was picking up on your
Maybe.
vibe because I was talking to him this morning too. And then when I had mentioned talking about life transitions, the butterfly deck spoke to me.
Yay. Wow.
So I'm going to see what Archangel's overseeing us for this month and
Yeah, you go.
wants to come out for this show. Oh, all right. There's one. Relationship harmony, Raguel. Okay.
And for the month of February.
Yeah, for the month of February, our Valentine's month, says we angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved, and arguments and conflicts are now being resolved. And there's a beautiful rainbow
Gorgeous.
of energy around. So Raguel is a relationship angel. He helps to resolve difficulties in relationships. If you're facing any legal issues, he's an angel of helps to resolve, family arguments, legal difficulties, things like that. And
Disconnections of any type.
yeah. So, you just may find this month that there's some very heart-opening conversations that you have with people where, you finally let your guard down and decide to just have an honest, I want to say honest, non-judgmental, just open conversation.
Yeah.
Where you are speaking your truth and your feelings to each other.
Exactly. A lot of times, I think we lead with protecting something or not wanting to completely share. Because we
Yes.
have a fear of either being misunderstood or that the result won't come that we want.
Exactly.
So letting go of the how and the what it exactly looks like and opening up for the possibilities and, allowing the angels to intervene like that can be really powerful.
Yeah.
And that
Yes.
fits so perfectly with the card that I picked.
Oh, you're a leader.
You're a leader, but what I'm really drawn to here is her sword. And there's almost like a ruby at the end of it, and there's so much of the earth energy. I keep really being talking about being grounded and in your body and letting go of expectations. Typically for me, it's Archangel Michael that will come in with that sword of knowledge or the sword
Yeah.
of protection. But in this case, it feels like it's our own internal letting go. Letting go of a specific way of doing things, letting go of the how of we're going to get there,
Yeah.
letting go of the person in a conversation always says something, and opening up to a different way of doing it. It's that change, right?
Yeah.
It's a different way of engaging. So taking that sword and completely cutting old ways of doing things and allowing in new possibilities.
Yeah, letting go of attachments.
Letting go of attachments.
Attachments
Perfect.
to
Yes.
outcomes, attachment to things, ways
Yeah.
of being in the world.
Ways of being in the world. Yeah.
Attachment to that ideal that, that you want to have in the world. So we can be open to possibilities. No, I love that. All right, I'm going to pull a quick Raphael card since we talked about him so much.
Yes, we did.
And a quick butterfly card. All right, I think that one wants to come out.
Yes.
Meditation. Yes, we're going to do that in
Ooh.
just a moment.
It's a nice
Meditation.
reminder.
It's the best way to attune to the angelic energies. And this is the deck of life. I love this. Ooh, okay, that one wants to come out. Sobriety. Wow, that's an interesting one to get. So, meditation and sobriety. Well, sobriety is a big change to embrace.
It is a really
And
big
this,
change.
sobriety doesn't just have to do with alcoholism. It can be addiction to anything. I mean, it could be,
Addiction to distraction. It can be,
Yeah.
so it's allowing yourself to be more present and not keep, even busyness. That is a huge one
Yeah.
for people, that they keep themselves so occupied that they don't have time to sit in meditation and really connect for what's in their highest good. So it
You're
almost
right.
becomes rote rather than intentional.
Exactly.
So that, that feels
I
like a
mean,
really powerful statement.
it is. I love the bright yellow on it because it's about, sobriety too can be about awareness of how things are affecting you. Like you become
Yeah.
aware of your sensitivities to food. Maybe you realize you're addicted to sugar or something like that, or many of the things that you mentioned. And as you embrace sobriety, you take your power back.
You really do.
And
yeah.
that's that bright yellow color that the butterfly is displaying is really a color of, yellow's a color of power. It's that
It's
power
yes,
chakra.
Yep, solar plexus.
So it's about taking your power back. And meditation is, I do feel like there's a lot more people starting to meditate.
Yeah, there are.
It might be guided meditations at first, and that's helping us along the path of changes that we are desiring to make.
Yes.
Because it comes into our awareness through the meditation.
Absolutely. Yeah, the openness and the releasing of what's blocking us. That's what really comes through for me with that card, sobriety, is the releasing of what we are putting in our way
Exactly.
to allow us not to feel or connect.
Exactly. Yeah, because a lot of whether it's sugar or alcohol or whatever
Doesn't matter.
it's a form of medication. We're kind of medicating ourselves.
We're dropping that energetic connection,
Yeah.
or we're blocking that energetic connection. Yeah,
Exactly.
definitely. That's so great.
Exactly. All right, so we have just a few minutes left here. So we're going to take some time out to do a meditation as we do on this show. So I invite you to wherever you're sitting, if you want to join us. Well, sitting is more ideal, but and just, take a few deep breaths and take that time to just let go a few minutes of whatever, let go of your cares, your worries, your concerns for the moment, and just be present, bringing your awareness, excuse me, to your breath. And we can ask Raphael to be with us in this meditation, visualizing his beautiful emerald green energies and asking for his help in cutting the attachments that we have to things, to any addictions that we have, and helping us to let go. Taking a nice deep breath, exhaling, letting go and allowing.
And even more than just allowing, it's inviting and receiving. It's taking that step, that courageous step of opening ourselves up, opening our hearts, and allowing a new way of feeling, of connecting in. Allowing the angels and our divine support team to really be there for us. And opening our energetic bodies to feel it, to feel the guidance, to feel the pull, to understand, to see, to hear, to sense, to know what is optimal for us. What's our next right step? How can we fully be present and engage in this beautiful world we live in?
Breathing and allowing and receiving. Inviting in the angels' help, sinking down into the space of your heart, and being willing to be with who you are. Being present with it and knowing that you are loved and valued for who you are.
And know that you are being valued and honored for all that you bring forth. Because we are all unique. Since the beginning of time, there has only been one you, one soul like you, one soul that has a unique mission, a unique way to engage with the world, and that you are so loved for who you are.
So I hope that helps you all to get into a good space. And we want to thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for joining us, and have an amazing February.
And we'll look forward to chatting with you next month.
Connect in March.
Blessings, everyone.